It's going to come. Just absorb, be involved in the moment, be involved on campus, be involved on your future.
Mm.
Everything else will work itself out.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the OSE Podcast. Today is episode number 6. Today, we're going to be talking about navigating your UNT journey with confidence. So, some career and academic building and planning, as well as some goal setting. My name is Ethan Rome. I'm the OSE Graduate Student Assistant, and I'm joined today with our guest, Stan Hughes. Do you want to tell them a little about yourself?
Yes, my name is Stan Hughes. I am a career coach for the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences. So I work with students for psych majors, sociology, and anthropology. Been with UNT going on be my 5th year. Prior to that, I was in College of Science, doing pretty much the same thing. I just changed student body.
Okay, gotcha. Can you tell us a little bit more about your role as a career coach specifically?
My role is to assist the students to get career ready.
Mm-hmm.
That means making sure they understand resumes, understanding cover letters, mock interviews, understanding what it's going to take to get that first job. That includes internships as well. It's
Okay.
just getting them ready, answering questions as they're going through the process, but also making sure that they're understanding the process as well. So, like I said, we offer many of services ranging from photo headshops, mock interviews. We bring employers on campus, and they actually
Mm-hmm.
do interviews as well here.
Okay.
We help out with clothing. We have a student closet, which allows students to be able to rent clothing without having to purchase them for a job interview.
Okay. That's very helpful.
Very
Yeah.
much so. And like I said, our services continue to grow with each year because the population of students are changing as well.
And what inspired you to become a career coach?
Honestly, it was, I guess, answering the correct email.
You know?
I've always have worked with working with individuals and populations. I have an undergrad in social work, so
Okay.
I've worked with everything from homeless veterans to individuals with learning disabilities. So I've always had that desire to want to help and assist um, other individuals whose voice may not be heard. So when found out about this position, I was like, okay, this combines everything that I've learned over the years,
Mm-hmm.
and so far it's been great.
Gotcha. As a career coach, what kind of questions and concerns are you typically fielding on the day-to-day?
So day to day, our typical questions are going to be more or less understanding formats for resumes,
Mm-hmm.
understanding what is going to be needed, making sure grammar is correct, making sure we got fonts that are correct.
Okay.
The other biggest questions is, okay, what do I put on a cover letter?
Mm-hmm.
But coming to a career coaches, we're able to assist you step by step. So that way you don't feel like you're trying to do this marathon and you just started running.
Hmm.
So what we try to do is break things down so that way students can see that they are achieving their goal, but are also developing new skills along the way.
Gotcha. So you're there to navigate from start to finish, not
Yes.
necessarily just kind of start and send you out.
Oh, yes. We're from start to finish. We try to grab our students within their first year.
Mm-hmm.
First year could be first time on campus, could be a freshman. First year could be a lot of different things. But what we try to do is once we get that list, is that we start reaching out to them, contacting them, letting them know the services that we offer, letting them know the availabilities because every college has their own individual career coaches
Okay.
housed inside of that college. So that makes us even more marketable, and plus students get to see us in the hallways as they're going to classes.
How do I know who my career coach is?
So what you can do is every individual on campus has to Navigate.
Mm-hmm.
Just scroll through Navigate towards the bottom, and then you're going to start seeing advisors, career coaches, and the list just kind of goes on from there. And what you can do is just click on that advisor or that career coach that's in your college, set up an appointment.
Gotcha. Okay, that sounds pretty easy. And what does a typical coaching session look like? Like maybe like what does the first one look like? Maybe it went along the way.
It depends on the questions. It depends on where the student is.
Okay.
Some students that are first time or first gen students, they could be steps ahead
Okay.
because they kind of understand the process because of their situation at home. And then you could have students that are first time in college, well, due to the fact that the kid just got out of the military. So understanding the new formats for resumes, understanding what's cover letter, understanding what goes onto a resume. What we try to do is make sure that we're giving them all the information that we have.
Okay.
And if we don't have it, we're going to find the answer somewhere.
Gotcha. It sounds like that first session also is a lot of like kind of like learning curve, like getting
Yes.
people up to speed a little bit.
And getting students to feel comfortable enough to want to speak.
Mm,
So what I try to make sure I do above all things is make sure I provide a safe space, whether that's on Zoom or that was on Teams or that's in person, or even when we do workshops, making sure that a student feels comfortable enough to want to ask questions. Without that dialogue, there's no growth.
mm,
So what I really encourage is more dialogue and students being able just to feel comfortable to ask those other additional questions.
mm. What do you feel like makes students like uncomfortable to ask questions at first?
I don't know if it's social media. I don't know if it's being introverted. I don't know if high school has changed to the point where it's not as in person, more
Okay.
on the social media and IT side. But once they come to campus, this is our chance for us career coaches to be able to connect them to the correct resources, making sure we connect with them, period. Especially in your first year on campus, you miss home.
Mm,
So finding that comfort spot, finding that quiet spot, or finding that spot where you feel you can invest your time into, it takes time. So what we try to do is we break a plan up based up on how many things are going to need to be done. So if you're trying to get a resume done, we can break that up into 3 sessions. So
mhm.
that way it's not so stifling and the students are actually learning as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can imagine it feel really like overwhelming, especially in the
Oh,
first year or so. Don't really necessarily know what you're doing. I definitely didn't know what I was doing first year of
yeah,
college.
and it's to be expected. I think we
Yeah.
all went through that learning curve when we first went to college. But as a career coach, our job is to kind of calm the nerves down just a little bit and show some clarity and guidance. And I think with once you start applying those, you become more effective as a career coach.
Gotcha. You have some of those people helping people skills there at the
Yes.
beginning,
Oh,
definitely.
yes. Soft skills, as I call them. But yes,
Yeah,
they,
soft.
you learn to develop them very quickly.
Yeah. Speaking of students who maybe feel kind of like lost or unsure of
Mhm.
themselves, how do you support students who feel unsure of where they fit in their major career path or maybe don't necessarily know what they're doing?
Well, I know we have a lot of assessments that we have on the Career Center website, and these assessments are not edged in stone. They
Hmm.
kind of give you a roundabout park, and it is more or less to get your mind to move and get to thinking about different possibilities,
Okay.
different things that you may enjoy that you don't think can translate over into an actual entry level position, and a lot of that is translate over. And
Mm.
it's called transferable skills, and those skills are able to transfer over to the next um, adventure in the student's life. So it's just making sure that we one get the students start thinking about who they are.
Mm.
Have the students start to really analyze what do they want in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Get the student to really start really thinking about, okay, what's going to make me happy? And once you start getting them to start thinking of that, and then with the assistance that the career coaches provide, it's always going to be a very good, it's going to turn out well. That's the
Gotcha.
best way to put it. Things will turn out well, as long as you're putting the effort, the desire, and the passion in it.
Yeah, I imagine it's really important for students to like really know who they are because they're kind of coming into this new environment. They've always been at home. Now they're figuring themselves out as like an adult, as a
And
person in the workforce.
and
As
that's
yeah.
the best. Sometimes that's some of the best things to see because you get to see the developing growth over the time. From first year till senior year, they will develop, they will grow. And I tell students all the time, it's going to come. Just absorb, be involved in the moment, be involved on campus, be involved on your future.
Mm,
Everything else will work itself out.
yeah. How can students feel confident in their major, like what they're doing, kind of in keeping motivation towards that kind of end term goal, that long, 4, 5, 6 years, 10 years?
Um, I always challenge students not to get complacent. Challenge themselves to continue to learn, challenge themselves to continue to build their mind. But that challenge there is being able to see the different things that AI is bringing to the table, what IT is bringing to the table.
Mm,
So the challenges are there, but in the same breath, the challenges are starting to open up, and people are starting to see that they can obtain they can get past some of these challenges. And it just takes being prepared, being ready, being determined, understanding what a recruiter or what an employer is looking for, and also learning about who they are. So your first year on campus is that transition of having people to tell you to you actually get to make some decisions for yourself.
We've talked a little bit about AI and like tech and stuff on the podcast before. What
Mhm.
kind of how have you seen that in the career center, like affecting students, affecting the career centers, like work with students as well?
It's a good thing, but it also can be a crutch because if you're not required to understand the structure of a sentence or a bullet point,
Hmm.
then you're really hindering yourself. Okay, the AI, the way I tell students use the system is help you spell proof. Make sure your grammar is correct, but don't let it rewrite your whole resume because a lot of the things or the words that this AI system is taking may not be consistent to who you are or
Mm.
your skills to who you are. So we tell them to be careful with that. We do, if they're going to use certain sites, we kind of give a recommendation, but ultimately it's going to be up to them what they choose and not to choose.
Gotcha. So y'all are kind of trying to be supportive in making sure that they're using it as a support rather
Right,
than like a.
not actually using it as a supplement,
Gotcha.
and it should be used to aid, not to take over.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's important to have that kind of voice, especially when you're trying to introduce yourself to employers or
Yes,
to
yes, and if you
professors or
and that's another
whatever
thing
you're
that we try
doing.
to do is make sure they understand who their voices are. Understanding, okay, this is my voice. Okay, my voice has changed every year, and it's going to continue to change as I go through life.
Mm.
But understanding that your voice is just part of who you are. Okay, and it's going to always be
Gotcha. You said something in there like it changes every year.
there. Hmm.
Do you feel like that's kind of also a big thing in that y'all do is kind of making sure that like their resumes like update as they're kind of gaining experience?
Yeah, so what I've been learning to do this semester is have students create a master resume. Put
Mm-hmm.
everything that you do while you're on campus and just keep putting it on there, putting it on, putting it on there. You can always tailor your resume to that specific employer,
Okay.
but it's easier to have all the information there
Mm-hmm.
than trying to think back what you did 2 years ago
Okay.
during spring semester. It could be many things,
Yeah.
but you also could miss out on some good things that are able to really showcase who you really are. So creating a master resume while you're in college, especially starting in your freshman year or your first year, is essential.
Gotcha. So you don't miss all those things that maybe this one random job in the future might kind of.
Yes. And you totally forget it. And then
Yeah.
you learn some skills that are transferable, but you can't really show because you don't remember what you did.
Yeah. What do you think are the biggest differences you see in career success and in kind of goal planning and things like that of students who seek advice and coaching from the career center?
Some of the things that I see as far as a success is that they're prepared. They understand what the employers are looking for. They're understanding some of the values of that employer. They're understanding some of the work ethics, some of the locations. But these are the things that if you don't do your homework in the beginning,
Hmm.
it's hard to catch that homework back up, especially when you're trying to look for an internship or you're trying to get your first entry level job. But starting with first year students, this is something that we've been kind of doing step by step, introducing them to different modules, introduce them to different things like mock interviews or elevator pitches. So we're trying to figure out different ways to reach the students, but making sure that the content is going to be relevant to that student's perception.
Mm. So some of it sounds like y'all are doing a lot of like role playing and
Yes,
things
we do.
like that.
Yes. And one good thing is, like I said, when we're able to bring in employers, it gives that student a chance to see, well, this is really this can pay off for me.
Mm.
Okay, if I just continue to apply these steps and keep working with my career coaches, this can really pay off for me. And that is the whole thing that we want to make sure the students understand. The ultimate goal for any student is to find a decent, making sure that you have enough money to take care of your basic needs.
Okay.
That's kind of the best way to sum it up. And with that, there is no limit that says high or too low that is right for each person.
Mm.
So it's just whatever that person feels is a necessity that they can make it through life. Then
Yeah.
that's
Figuring out what they really want.
right. And those are the first couple years of school. You're starting to figure out yourself because you don't have um, I wouldn't say the guidance, but you don't have some of the rules that were the structures that you were used to in high school.
Mhm.
And then when you come to college, it's like there's different structures, and you're really helping to develop your structures.
Yeah.
So that's the part of the growth that I really enjoy about where I work at.
Mm. Yeah, and figuring out what you really want in terms of like maybe my parents or maybe my friends
Mhm.
say I should do this thing or that thing, but like, what do I really want?
Right.
Maybe it's less or maybe it's more than what I'm expected
And
or it's expected of me.
I just want students to make sure that their input is vital. Their
Mm,
input is needed because this is their future.
yeah,
And as long as they got the input, their future is still can be defined and go in any direction they want, but they got to know that this is their
gotcha. You got to take charge of that
future.
and have confidence in that. Yeah. We talked a little bit before, but kind of what are some services and programs that the Career Center offers in general? Maybe what are some things that are coming up?
So we do the JC Penney, as where the JC Penney's will kind of set up space for UNT career coaches to come in, and we help students with finding clothing for an interview, finding shoes,
Mm,
finding the stuff that's going to be needed for them to go to and be successful in the interview. The students are given discounts for that as well, and then we still have the suit up closet. We're still working on additional career events, which we will have more by Christmas break. So every semester, we try to at least do maybe about 20 or more career events
okay.
per
That's,
semester.
yeah.
Yeah, so that we're trying to make sure that we're looking at all majors at all times.
Mm,
So with that, I think the students they're beginning to see that getting prepared early, there's a lot of benefits to it. Making sure that you understand what is going on in requirements makes it easier for them to start knowing what they need to do.
mm. You said that y'all kind of try to make sure all majors are
Mhm.
represented. Are there events that are specifically tailored for like certain majors, like for pre-business or
So you have
medicine
a
and stuff
lot of
like
yeah,
that?
you got business career fairs. You will
Hmm.
have like they have all majors career fairs. They have a STEM career fair. They have
Okay.
engineer career fairs. So we look at the different colleges and we make sure that we are bringing those employers in for those colleges, so that way the students can really showcase their abilities.
Mm,
So we're intentional every semester on making sure that we're reaching out to the correct employers and set up the events according to the students' population and needs.
gotcha. And kind of going back to the focus of our podcast, online
Mhm.
students, what are some ways online students can connect and work with the Career Center?
So we have career coaches that are do virtual drop-ins. So we got that on our website as well. We also are offering virtual career fairs,
Mhm.
whereas if some students may be non-traditional where they're having to work. So we're offering more of the online versions of a career event. So that way, if anything else, they can always dial in later, see what happened, get the information they need, and go forward. We also Students can reach out to us pretty much anytime they need to. Monday through Friday, we're in our office from 8 to 5. I'm stationed in GAB.
Mhm.
The Career Center itself is stationed in Sage. So that's where you're still going to have some of your employee
Okay,
services. You'll still have some of the staff there, some career coaches, but generally each career coach is put into the college themselves.
gotcha. With the virtual career fairs, though, that's
Mhm.
not necessarily something that they have to be there for like a set time, though.
No, no, and
And
that's
they
why I
still can
kind of
connect with those
yeah.
people.
Some of it's hybrid, where
Hmm.
if they can be in person, and then sometimes it's also recorded.
Oh,
So
okay,
then that way, if they get off late or whenever time prevents or allows, they can always tune in, get the information they need. If they got additional questions, please always reach out to the Career Center. Okay, we do respond to everybody's needs and questions, but we're trying to also look at different things like Handshake. How can we improve Handshake where
mm,
it's streaming better? So we're looking at different platforms, but right now it kind of just takes time. Um, so, like I said, we're trying to make sure that we're connecting the dots. We want to make sure that the student body feels connected. Okay, so even if it could be just us reaching out, sending out an email in campus. Hey,
hmm,
just want to reach out, see how you're doing this semester. If you have any questions, please feel to reach out.
gotcha,
So we're constantly working with the online student body because we see that as a growing population and just areas that we still are trying to adjust to.
yeah. And even if like they're not necessarily like completely online, just having that accessibility for even traditional on-campus students is really helpful.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
We make sure that we're looking at the different groups, the clubs, the different organizations on campus, and we're trying to be, like I said, mindful, intentional with our message
Mm.
because we want to make sure we get in hold of the students early so we can teach them the correct habits before they get out here into the industry
Yeah.
and have no clue to what they're doing.
Gotcha.
So, being prepared is going to be essential for every student.
Gotcha. The last question:
Mhm.
if somebody was watching this podcast now and they were kind of nervous or hesitant to reach out, what would you tell them?
To reach out. The Career
Easy
Center,
enough.
we have the way it's set up. You can reach out to any career coach that you want.
Mhm.
Okay. But sometimes the first step is just making that first appointment. Once you make that first appointment and you get to connect with your career coach, questions become up, answers become to start being provided, and it also starts to get that student to see what the processes are going to be going forward.
Gotcha. Reach out; they won't bite.
No, we don't bite.
All right, I think that's our last question for today. Where can people reach out to you?
My email is
Just to catch up.
stanley.hughes at unt.edu.
Okay.
Or you can go to the Career Center webpage, scroll down, you'll see my picture, click on that, and you can book an appointment that direction.
And as always, you can all follow and keep up with OSE through our social media. I'll put those up on the screen. Um, and with that being said, I think that's where we'll finish off for today.
Okay.
Go Mean Green.